Mount Olympus, Greece's highest mountain. According to ancient myths, this site was the home of the gods. It was here on Mount Olympus that Zeus sat on his throne and determined the fate of mortal men.
Whenever we have references to Mount Olympus, it is described to be this magnificent palace on top of Mount Olympus, allegedly, and the temple walls were always gleaming of gold or gleaming with silver, and a lot of little lights that they described as jewels. Well, if you look at that from a modern perspective, what if that place, Mount Olympus, wasn't necessarily the top of a mountain, but it was in fact a spaceship? Because it is described how sometimes there was a big rumbling with Mount Olympus and the entire top lifted off.
But if Mount Olympus was home to alien visitors, could Zeus have been their leader? According to both the Iliad and the Odyssey, Zeus was often depicted as wielding a lightning bolt.
It appears to be a very powerful weapon because he could destroy whole cities with this thunderbolt weapon of his.
Similarly, Zeus's brother Poseidon, the god of the sea, was armed with a trident.
He was able to create tsunamis, tidal waves, with this weapon. The trident weapon of Poseidon seems to have been something more than just a pitchfork.
So is it possible that the lightning bolt and the trident is some type of a direct energy device?
Arguably, one of the most important of the Greek gods was Apollo, who rode the skies in his chariot of fire.
Apollo first was the teacher of the young Greeks living there. He taught them how to make buildings on the mountain, on the hillside. He taught them how to make roads. He taught them in astronomy.
Centuries later, when Rome ruled over Europe and the Mediterranean, from the 1st century BC until the 7th century AD, the Romans paid homage to gods similar to the Greeks. Zeus was now known as Jupiter. Poseidon was called Neptune. But Apollo was known to both the Romans and the Greeks. Coincidence? Or, as most ancient astronaut theorists believe, was it the historical account of powerful beings that came to Earth thousands of years ago?
We know that the extraterrestrials more than likely are the source of what they call gods. How did they get here? More than likely in some type of craft.
What we map into our myths and our legends are incredible stories, incredible events, and any extraterrestrial being, any ancient alien who has come here on Earth will be written down into this account because it is such an extraordinary event that it will be marked forever.